جميع المدن السعودية تندك بنفس الدك اللي اندكت غزة، وأولهم مكة، لأنها هذه منبع الإرهاب. هذه فتنة.
لا
ليه؟
لا زكريا والله ما يجوز الكلام هذا يا أخي.
The heart of the matter, however, is that we have to understand, to win this long-term war, we are going to have to do what we have done so successfully over the course of the last 80-some years in the 20th century. If you look back 86 years ago this spring, in the spring of 1917, the United States entered World War I because of unrestricted German submarine warfare. At that time, there were about a dozen democracies in the world. U.S., Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Britain, France, Switzerland, Netherlands, a couple of countries in Northern Europe. And today, according to Freedom House, there are 121 democracies in the world, 89 of them free, another some 30, like Russia, partly free. That movement, an order of magnitude increase from about a dozen to over 120 democracies in the world in the lifetime of a single individual, anyone 86 years old or older, is one of the most remarkable developments in world history. And it is very important to realize that when people tell you that it will be impossible to free the Middle East. Now, the Middle East is a very serious problem with respect to the nature of governance there, for a whole set of historical reasons involving the way World War I ended and the Wahhabi sect's influence from Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Arab world and the like. The Middle East, outside Israel and Turkey, really consists of only two types of governments: pathological predators and vulnerable autocracies. If anyone suggests to you that what we need in the Middle East is stability, I would say, hello? What we have has given us disaster. We did not invade those 110 countries and force them to become democracies. 86 years, 121 democracies is not a bad record. We certainly did not do that all ourselves. We did it all along the way with Britain. We did it with various allies. But the key thought I want to leave with you is that we did it preeminently because we made the wars of the 20th century, World Wars I and II and the Cold War, wars of freedom against tyranny. We fought World War I. Over the time that these wars took place, we convinced many people within the states that we were at war with that we were not at war with them, we were at war with their domineering dictators. And the reason we won the Cold War peacefully, eventually, was because we got Havel and Valenza and Solidarity and Sakharov and so on our side. And we didn't do it by lying to them. We did it in their interests and ours by fighting together against the tyranny of Soviet communism. We have to do the same thing in the Middle East. We should not make the mistake that some conservative Christian fundamentalist preachers have made and say that this is a war against Islam. It is not a war against Islam. Islam is not the problem. True, there are no democracies in the 22 Arab states, but the 18 predominantly Muslim non-Arab states, over half of those are democracies. And some of them are some of the poorest countries in the world: Bangladesh, Mali, Senegal. The problem is not Islam. The problem is tyranny. And if we convince the decent Muslims of the world, the decent people of the world, the people who are in slavery, essentially, including in many of these states, the women, that we are on their side, we will ultimately prevail, just as we did in World Wars I, II, and III, the Cold War. As we do this, we close with this, we will make people nervous. We will make the Saudi royal family nervous. We will make the Mubarak regime in Egypt nervous. And if we succeed in freeing Iraq and then begin to turn our attention to the Syrias and the Libyas and the other rogue states and exert pressure for them to change, the Saudi royal family and the Mubarak regime will come to us and they'll say, we're very, very nervous. And our response should be, good. We want you nervous. We want you to realize that now, for the fourth time in 100 years, this country and its allies, its democratic allies, are on the march. We are going to win, and we're going to win because we are on the side of those whom these regimes most fear, their own people. Thank you.